Now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I am Mamode Akuga. Finally, the tension enveloping the polity has been doused following the declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari as the winner of the 2019 presidential elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Of course, the anxiety and tension preceding the presidential elections were at a feverish pitch in the Niger Delta. And so we kickstart today's edition of the program with the people's reaction to the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. In the course of the program, we'll also highlight the many controversies and the drama playing out in the aftermath of the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections in Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, and other parts of the Niger Delta. Also on today's edition of the program, we'll bring you an engaging interview with Dr. Marvin Dekil, coordinator of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP. We eventually got HYPREP to react to the alleged failure to follow the recommendations of UNEP in the implementation of the 2011 report of the United Nations Agency on oil pollution in Ogoni land. We'll wrap up our edition for today with a report that captures the people's mood in Kula Kingdom of Akukutoro local government area in Rivers State, where indigenous oil giant Belemaoil Producing Limited is redefining the concept of corporate social responsibility. Inside the Niger Delta, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. President Muhammadu Buhari in the early hours of Wednesday was declared winner of the 2019 general elections. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, got 15,191,847 votes, while his closest rival, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, polled 11,255,978 votes. President Buhari was declared re-elected by the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, after having met the constitutional requirement.
That Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressives Congress, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared winner and is returned elected.
We bring you now some quick reactions of Niger Deltans about President Buhari's electoral victory and what it means for the Niger Delta.
If you go with history for this past 3 years, and you'll find out that the government of President Buhari had not been very sincere to Niger Delta people. You find out that most of our projects, that federal government embarked on are still like that. Take, for instance, the East-West Route is uncompleted, the Port Harcourt Airport is uncompleted, the cleaning of Ogoni land, they have politicized it. So this time around, I don't know anything new that is going to bring to the Niger Delta region.
The winning of President Muhammadu Buhari for the Niger Deltas is about, just as for me, taking us to the next level. You remember before President Muhammadu Buhari took over as government, there were seriously destruction of pipelines. The youths were being misled by the greedy politicians in Niger Delta. But when they came to understand the policies and what Buhari means for Niger Delta, you can see that the region is cool.
We were the Niger Delta, as Buhari don't win as a president, get to join us together to support him for the next tenure. At least this new government we want to renew here, I'm not saying go do better.
And for Buhari to have won as the president re-elect of Federal Republic of Nigeria, it means that the people of Niger Delta should be reassured or are reassured of what he has promised to ensure for the betterment of the people, such as creating employment opportunity for them, enhancing the economy of the region from the proceeds of the oil that will be extracted from the region.
The conduct of the presidential and National Assembly elections in the Niger Delta was expectedly greeted with irregularities, electoral malpractice, and violence. over which the PDP and the APC are trading accusations. In Bayelsa State, the People's Democratic Party accuses the All Progressive Congress of using the military to unleash violence on its members during the just concluded elections.
There was no vote. There was no election. Election means people coming out to vote. Not you carrying out an act of terrorism and commandeering electoral officials to your place and securing it because you have support of military people, and so what? That is not an election. If they call it an exercise, military exercise, it may very well be a military exercise, but not an election.
Shortly after the National Assembly election results were announced, supporters of the PDP marching on the streets of Yenagoa, Bayelsa State capital, had alleged that INEC had declared fake results from Nembe Basambri and parts of Southern Ijaw local government area.
Results were not supposed to be in a booklet because every SPO that distribute material, all these result sheets were distributed to the various units, but now you can see that it is in a booklet. That means there was no election. If not, they will collate the result at the local government headquarters before proceeding to the senatorial headquarters.
Votes were cast in the localities, and the results are with the presiding officers. And they came to only submit collated results if the unit results are not presented to the collation officer. Where was he able to bring or manufacture results? We ought not to have militarized it and abuse also the process.
The presiding officer, whose materials and everything was snatched, will write a report to the electoral officer, who will transmit that report, to the resident electoral commissioner, who in turn will transmit it to Abuja and give the collation officers. Once it is satisfied that they have not met the guidelines, that result will not be accepted. I'm going to escalate this report to the chairman, and I'm sure he will give his directive on the next step to take.
The rejection of the Nembe Basambri results was also canvassed by the coalition of the United Political Parties, CUPP, in Bayelsa State.
Materials and INEC officials were adopted in all the 7 wards of Basambri, Nembe local government area, and the death of some persons describing the incident as most unfortunate, sad and unacceptable. The unfortunate and saddening act was also perpetrated in Ward 4, Ward 14, 15 and 16 in Southern Ijaw local government area.
The All Progressives Congress, however, denies colluding with the military to influence the outcome of the election in the disputed local government areas. Former Governor Timipri Silva spoke in defense of his party.
I am not from Basambri, I wasn't there, but I am aware that there was election and results were properly and duly declared. What else can you say about violence in this election? Who is behind the violence?
Still in Bayelsa, while some are sulking over the outcome of the elections, others are celebrating victory at the polls. One of them is Lawrence Erujakbo, the immediate past commissioner for works, who emerged victorious in the Bayelsa West senatorial contest.
Erujakbo Lawrence O. of the PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
I owe them a duty, I owe myself a duty, I owe God a duty, and I also owe my family a duty to ensure that I do not betray this confidence that has been reposed on me. I also believe that it is also an opportunity for me to also thank the good people of Bayelsa West. It's a vote of confidence on the governor for what he has done for Bayelsa West.
Also in the victory train is Honorable Fred Agbedi, who was re-elected member representing Sagbama Ikirimo Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, and Doye Diri, Senator-elect for Bayelsa Central Senatorial District.
Agbedi Frederick of PDP, having certified the requirement and scored the highest vote, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected.
Right Honorable Chief Ernest Serake Dixon and the good people of Bayelsa Sagbama and Ikirimo Federal Constituency. They have done well. They stood their grounds. They came out in their numbers, voted for my candidature, voted for my party, the PDP, and today we clinched victory. Victory, that is a sure victory, a mandate that was freely given by the people.
The candidates with the maximum number of votes in the election, and that candidate is Doye Diri of the PDP, having scored 83978 votes.
Well, you know my track records in the House of Representatives. My track records are there, and that's what I hope to repeat on the floor of the red chambers. We had people who terrorized the same people they want to lead, the same people they want to represent. They traumatized them, terrorized them, and came with Mami Water votes, what I subtly sometimes call the Kano votes. Votes that were written, votes that were illegitimate, votes that were unconstitutional. And such votes were accepted by INEC. And we believe that what is wrong, and those votes must not count.
In Rivers State, the aftermath of the presidential and National Assembly elections is no less dramatic. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army on Tuesday at a press briefing in Port Harcourt paraded 5 security agents, including an army officer and 4 police personnel, as suspects linked to Governor Nyesom Wike in an alleged attempt to get them compromised in the conduct of the elections in Rivers State. Spokesperson of the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Aminu Iliasu, who addressed journalists at the briefing, also accused Governor Wike of masterminding the violence witnessed during the elections in the nation's treasure base.
Most worrisome and dangerous is the employment of political talks by some desperate politicians to disrupt a legitimate national process for their pecuniary gains. Equally of grave concern is the daring attempt by the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, to compromise security agencies, particularly troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army, with hefty financial inducements to help him in his illegitimate act of thwarting a free and fair electoral process to his favor, while at the same time accusing the Nigerian Army and its command hierarchy of being biased daily. Apparently, Governor Wike must have underestimated the Nigerian Army's commitment to being professionally responsive in the discharge of our constitutional roles. A white Hilux vehicle with a Rivers State government registration number L02-03 RV Rivers and 8 occupants was stopped for a routine search and clearance. A carton and 2 bundles of INEC 2019 presidential election ballot papers were discovered in the vehicle. Preliminary investigations revealed that none of the occupants of the vehicle is an INEC staff, INEC ad hoc staff, or a security agent. During the course of on-the-spot interrogation, Honorable Opokri Wanaka and Dr. Reason Onya Williams, earlier mentioned above, appeared at the spot and tried to convince the suspecting troops that the vehicle is part of INEC convoy that was left behind and that the vehicle should be allowed to go because the electorates are waiting. Nobody is killing anybody. No. Nobody is killing anybody. Please. Nobody is killing anybody. Nobody is killing anybody.
In a swift reaction, Governor Wike had dismissed the allegations as tissues of lies concocted to divert attention from the alleged role of the army in the disruption of elections in Ikwere, Emoha, and Okrika local government areas. Governor Wike, at a media briefing, hinted that the state government had written to the International Criminal Court of Justice to prosecute the general officer commanding the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sahem, for crimes against humanity.
And I've already before now made allegations that they intend to arrest PDP leaders. On that particular day, Dr. Nonya called me and said, look, we have been arrested while we're escorting, as agents of the party, escorting the materials to go to Odioku community, their own unit. And they were confronted, and they told them that they were agents of the party. They said no, they were not going to leave them. And it's okay, if you're not going to leave us, they will not also allow the materials to move. I said, why is this? And he told me, I said, okay, can I speak to the officer why he should arrest you? He said the officer said they were not going to speak to me. I said, okay, you relax, don't bother. Later, he sent me a text that the officer said he's sorry, that I can now call him. I said, what is the problem? He said, oh, they were at the junction and they confronted these people. I said, but, so what is the position now? He said, no, don't problem. And I said, okay, they let the man see you back and resolve the problem. Let anybody say where I said that you should do something I did not do, and I'm going to give him so thing. They should defend how they went to Okrika to cut away materials. They should defend how they went to Emohua to cut away materials. They should defend how they went to Ikwe local government to cut away materials. They killed people in Omewa. Was it wicked? They killed a lady in Degema. I don't want to talk about that Abonema issue.
And in Delta State, candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the Delta South senatorial contest, Dr. Emmanuel Udwanga, has called for the cancellation of the presidential and National Assembly elections held in Delta South. In a statement issued by his media assistant, Monoyo Edon, Dr. Udwanga, who is the immediate past governor of Delta State, noted that the election was fraught with electoral malpractices, irregularities, and violence in parts of Brutu, Bamadi, Patani, Warri North, and Isoko North local government areas. Dr. Udwanga had earlier during the collation of results and final announcement at the Collation Center in Ole, headquarters of Isoko South local government area, petitioned INEC over an alleged derailment of the electoral process that disenfranchised most eligible voters in Delta South senatorial district. In the statement, Dr. Udwanga, however, expressed his profound appreciation to the people of Delta South senatorial district for their overwhelming support throughout the electioneering period. And now, away from politics. Criticisms trailing the implementation of the UNEP report on the oil pollution in Ogoni land heightened recently, following the handover of polluted sites to contracting firms. According to critics of the Ogoni cleanup project, there is nothing on ground to suggest that the process has commenced, despite the handing over of polluted sites to contractors. In an interview with Inside the Niger Delta, HYPREP's coordinator, Marvin Dekil, however, insists that the cleanup project is on course.
Well, I think we should start by really commending the federal government for taking this bold step. Environmental challenges in Ogoni land and Niger Delta at large are things is a problem we live with, like I said previously, for over 4 decades. It's always been there, but this is the first time the federal government has started that. We have companies on site right now in Ogoni land doing the remediation. What that means is that the cleanup of the Niger Delta has started, beginning in Ogoni land, and that is commendable. There are people who have their own reason for disagreeing with the project. A lot of time it might be political, it might be selfish, but the generality of Ogoni people whose land we are cleaning are very happy. You see that on their faces each time you move into the community. You see that on their faces each time you're interacting with them. The bulk of the people on our livelihood program are very young, people from poor background. The women we're going to be training, a lot of them are widows, people who actually do need help. These are the people that truly need this project. Not those ones with so much money that go to the media to criticize what it is should be benefiting them, that give conditions before they can accept help and accept support of a project that should be impacting positively on their lives.
The controversy surrounding the Ogoni cleanup project also borders on allegations of financial misappropriation, for which the Ogoni Youth Federation is already in court with HYPREP.
People need to understand the way HYPREP works, our governing structures. We have a board of trustees, we have the governing council, and we have the project coordination office. All these structures work independent of each other. And it was done for transparency and efficiency of operations. What that means is that the BOT They hold the money. They receive the money and they hold the money and they manage the money. Okay? The Governing Council develop and approve the policies that the Project Coordination Office submits. And for us to spend a dime in the Project Coordination Office, 1 naira to be spent here, we get approval for that money from the Governing Council, who then instructs or directs the Board of Trustees to release the money. So it is not possible within the administrative structure of HYPREP for money to be appropriated or misapplied, no.
On the alleged marginalization of Ogonis in the award of contracts, Marvin Dekil said HYPREP only followed the Procurement Act and was poised to build capacity for Ogonis and other contracting firms engaged in the cleanup project. And now to Kula Kingdom. The gradual involvement of Niger Deltans in the ownership and operations of oil blocks would eventually lead to the transformation of the Niger Delta region. This conclusion is based on the situation of Kula Kingdom, which has undergone rapid transformation following the intervention of an illustrious son of the kingdom, engineer Jack Ten Jr., who is also founder and president of Belemaoil Producing Limited, operator of OML 55. To show their appreciation for this uncommon transformation and pledge their loyalty to engineer Jack Ten Jr., Kula people recently organized a Thanksgiving and prayer session in Kula town. Inside the Niger Delta was there. The event was organized to pray for peace and prosperity in Kula Kingdom and to thank God for turning around the fortunes of a people who before this time suffered untold neglect and deprivation in the midst of plenty. It was also to thank God for the gift of an illustrious son who has worked tirelessly to uplift his people from the throes of poverty and deprivation. Engineer Jack Ten Jr., a son of the soil, had in 2016 secured the license to operate OML 55, which encompasses Kula Kingdom. Jack Ten's vision for his native Kula Kingdom, which is expressed through the instrumentality of Belemaoil Producing Limited, has in less than 3 years since the indigenous oil giant began operations in the area, brought succor to the long-suffering people of Kula Kingdom and their neighbors with the provision of critical infrastructure, award of scholarships and creation of jobs for the youths. The founder of Belemaoil is described as an unrivaled change agent in Kula Kingdom and its environs.
Every community, every kingdom that has the privilege and the honor to enjoy such opportunities, we want the presence of such company to remain. If there are other opportunities that need to come to the territory, we will still want Belemaoil to inherit that opportunity. Belemaoil is not just a son, but he has been sent as a Messiah.
The paradox of poverty in the midst of plenty was indeed heightened by the unique geographical location of Kula Kingdom, which, lying in the mouth of the Atlantic, has had to contend with transport and communication challenges over the years. To the relief of Kula Kingdom, Belemaoil is constructing a 6.5-kilometer road that will link the town to its satellite communities. In its determination to further open up the area for rapid development, Belemaoil has commenced preliminary works on the 85-kilometer Kula-Port Harcourt Road project, which on completion will provide direct access to the oil-rich Kula Kingdom by road.
We are very happy for our son. It's not only Kula, he's also doing it in other communities where he's also doing one or two things, because Belemaoil is not in Meduguri, but our son is doing something in Meduguri. So it's not only Kula, we should pray for him, give him, Almighty God should give him more strength, more wisdom to do more things for Kula Kingdom. We're going to have the Belema Atlantic Island in Kula Kingdom. We're going to have the Belema Industrial Base in Kula Kingdom. We're going to have the Belema Atlantic Office in Kula Kingdom. And maybe let me let you know what this means, this particular one. It means that Belemaoil Producing Limited, upon completion of the Belema Atlantic Office, will relocate its operations to Kula Kingdom.
In attendance at the Thanksgiving service was the Amanabo of Kula Kingdom, His Majesty Dr. Kroma Amabibi Eleki.
Engineer Jack Ten Jr.,
has planted a lot of projects in our kingdom. And it behoves on all of us, both young and old, men and women, youths, to water that project so that it will come to a fruition. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, I'm watering the projects for success.
In recognition of the immense contributions of Engineer Jacques Stein to the development of his kingdom, the Kula monarch had made a public declaration of his intention to honor a worthy son in no distant time.
Let God bless his family in the mighty name of Jesus. It's a pity, and I'm a bit disappointed that the founder, president, Engineer Jacques Stein, is not here. If one is falling and somebody helps him to wake up, why do you call that person Destiny Helper? So our founder is Kula Ekpeke. It's the Ekpeke of Kula Kingdom. And I will liaise with him. You should give us a day. We will install him officially as Chief Engineer Jacques Stein Jr. Ekpeke of Kula Kingdom.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on this edition of the program. You can also stay connected by following us on our social media handles showing on your screen right now. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region will be back same time next week. Until then, I'm yours sincerely, Mahmoud Akuga, thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.